Yes.
So they had to use a police truck, and I was
Yes.
at that scene to rescue people. After that, they started to obtain these vehicles, rescue vehicles,
Well,
and
I
they're very
covered that
different.
live on the air, Dennis. I remember that well. I covered it live on the air, and it was a horrific scene.
It was terrific, and then it's interesting that after that situation, no one died, but there were some officers that passed away after that that were involved in that tragedy, that bank robbery on Lancaster Boulevard. I believe it was like Laurel Canyon, it was Laurel Canyon,
Yes.
the B of A,
It was the Bank of
across from
America
the
there.
Sears.
Yes.
B of A, yeah, I still remember that. And I was at that scene, and it was two individuals that were robbing banks with all the weapons that they had, and they were willing to die for the cause, and they both passed away. But a lot of people were injured in that tragedy. We didn't have the rescue vehicles at that time. Now we have these, and most departments have them. You don't use them every day,
Well,
but when you need them, they're there. They're
and,
very, very effective.
and one of the situations I remember with that particular one, since you brought it up, is that the police were outgunned in that situation.
Well, sure they were. And that's when the officers went to B&B gun sales to get rifles because the AK-47s that the suspects had, the officers had shotguns and their pistols, and that was it. And they increased the armament of officers after that. Got the rescue vehicles, the Bearcats, and they've become more sophisticated as time's gone on. But it's a situation where you don't use that Bearcat every day, but when you need it, as you need it now, it comes into use and very specific use for those situations, and that's what we see happening right now. So this reduces the hazard to the officers, increases the safety for them, and they will get him out there deploying a plan, whether they're going to put tear gas in that car or use something else to force him out of that car. And that Bearcat has the opportunity with the trained officers in there. They're all SWAT team people. They know how to handle the situation.
And
So
they,
It looks like the SWAT vehicle is inching closer
yes, it
and
does look like it's
closer.
inched closer, and it certainly is close enough to keep him from being able to maneuver out of the situation that he's in.
They must be confident at this point that whatever it is he has in his hand is not a weapon.
no, it appears that it's hard to tell from the view on the screen, but it doesn't look like a weapon.
Right, it looks
Not
like
at all.
perhaps a cell phone.
But believe me, if they knew for certain he didn't have a weapon, this could have ended lost earlier. But the fact is, that fear of a weapon causes it to increase in caution, definitely increase in caution for the officers. But again, we're in an ideal situation. You're basically in an abandoned area, an isolated field, no cars, no pedestrians, no bicycle, there's nothing. So it's a sterile scene where you can then take the time, use the tools appropriate to take him into custody, since he's obviously not willing to exit the car, like his girlfriend who was taken into custody. He's unwilling to be taken into custody, so they're going to get him into custody against his will, and he'll go back to jail, where apparently he started out today.
Just moments ago, as we were speaking, we saw him take another drink from his, what appears to be a beer bottle. Just killing some time, taking his time, no hurry, no rush. But as you mentioned, it is the ideal situation, if you can call it that, where there are no other people around, no other drivers, no other cars, no other pedestrians. The road is open and blocked off just for this particular incident. So they're just going to take their time.
And you know,
Exactly.
Dennis, you've seen enough of these things, and so have we. You know, there have been a few times in situations not exactly identical, but very similar situations where there has been a standoff where you had a suspect who was drinking a liquid of some kind, and the pursuit ended, or the standoff ended, because nature calls.
Really?
Oh no, that's happened.
That's happened more than one time.
Yes, it has.
Kind of comical, but it's happened more than one time, where they have to relieve themselves, shall we say,
Well,
and
that might be next.
they exit the car. But there's not many places in this particular area to relieve themselves, because you got open fields and a highway. There's no place to hide. He's in a unique location, no place to hide.
No, but an opportunity to have to get out of the car. It looks like, it looks like he's moving.
Well,
He
set down the
put
bottle.
the bottle down.
And they're still talking. They're
He's
still
opening
talking.
the door. Opening the door.
He's putting his hands up. It looks like he's about to surrender. At least that's the
Yes.
impression he's giving.
It's about time.
Oh. Um.
I'm
Does
telling
he
you, I
not-
think he may.
Does he?
Well, he doesn't have.
Oh no, shorts.
He has shorts. He doesn't have pants on.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a slight delay from with the view you're seeing, the view
I
that
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
A slight delay.
But he has his hands on his
Hands up.
head,
Now he's, I see him getting out of the car.
Right.
and now he had his hands on his head, and then he started waving again. You're not supposed to do that, Dennis.
No, you're not. You're
No.
supposed to follow direction. But he may be intoxicated a bit also.
Exactly. That's
definitely
what
impaired.
we're speculating could be the case.
Yeah. So now he's facing the officers,
Facing
but the SWAT
officers.
team's behind him. And again, the time's on the side of the officers. There were no rush. They wanted to take him into custody, but it's not like they have to open up the freeway. Everything's
It looks
static.
like he's taking his shirt off now.
Well, they want to make sure he doesn't have a weapon. That wouldn't be uncommon to take off the shirt to make sure there's no weapon that he's not hiding. Again, that creates a whole new environment when they have the fear that the individual has a weapon. And that's stated at one time during the situation. So now we see...
And he continues to gesture, gesticulate, and just
Yelling.
have a conversation in a fairly aggressive way.
Yeah. Well, he's not happy.
He's agitated. He's definitely agitated.
He's very agitated. So what we see happening
It almost
now...
seems like he doesn't know what to do.
Well, they're telling him what to do.
Yeah, but he seems confused.
You know, walk toward us, turn around, put your hands up. It's pretty
Go
simple.
back. Go backwards. There you go.
And he's having trouble walking backwards, which anyone could, but if he's intoxicated, it's going to be even more difficult.
But see, whichever way he goes, if he decides to run, the canine's going to jump on him.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to jump over the barrier and take off. He's surrounded. There's no way he's going to escape from here. He's going to hopefully cooperate and put this to an end. So he's walking slowly. They're probably going to get him on the ground, but it's probably going to be a little warm on that cement, on that asphalt. But they don't have him in custody yet. So
No.
he keeps up his hands up. Keep your hands up as you cooperate with the direction of the officers, who are telling him exactly what they want him to do.
He's
They see
walking
those
backwards
officers-
now. He's
Well,
walking backwards.
we
He's
walking
more stumbling backwards,
Well, yeah.
So he's
Drinking.
well, he's definitely been drinking. He definitely appears to be intoxicated.
Right.
I mean, the fact that he's not cooperating. So now he's doing what he's supposed to do, or what they're telling him to do, what they're directing him to do. But there's, he could have something in his pocket or his waistband. Unlikely at this particular juncture, but they want to make sure. They want to make certain that he doesn't have any kind of weapon. And then once that's determined, then they'll put the cuffs on him, and away he goes. They'll impound the car, find out from the girlfriend the story, and put this to
and
rest.
you have to assume that he's impaired because I mean,
His
usually
behavior.
Dennis, when it gets to this point, they know they are done.
Right.
So for him to continue trying to converse with the officers tells you there's something else going on there.
Well, he knows where he's going. He knows he's going to jail. There's no question in his mind. He's obviously no hurry to get there. And while he
Down
was
he
drinking, it
goes.
looked like it was beer. So you see the officers have their weapons out to make certain until he's in custody.
And they still have to check that car out since it's so darkly tinted to make sure there
Right.
isn't anyone else in there. Is that right?
Exactly. There could be someone hiding in the back seat, and that's happened before. Unlikely, but they want to verify. And this is a tactical situation where once he's in custody, they'll approach the car. But as you see, the officers who are deployed appropriately, one officer is telling him what to do. Other officers are giving cover. If he were to do anything right now, if he were to take off running, that canine would be on him
Yeah, the
so
canine's
quickly.
ready to go.
They're ready to go. And that dog is anticipating, but that's why that dog is there, and it's a very useful tool.
There we go. They're
But,
approaching him now, and they got him.
They have him.
They have him.
You see the canine's on the top left,
Right.
so he's finally cooperating. Finally giving...
Now, it's very interesting, Dennis. He's being taken into custody, and now we've seen the Bearcat move in between the cruisers and the car, which is still there. And now it's backing back.
Well, the Bearcat came. It didn't do anything, but it was there, probably developing a tactical plan. And in the meantime, he decided, let me get out of the car and finally surrender.
All right.
That
well,
standoff took a long time.
it did.
While he was parked on that roadway, and
Thanks
now
for
it's
your
called now
help
it's called
today.
it's a code 4. Now it's a code 4.
Yeah.
It is a code for Dennis Zine, former LA City Councilman and former LAPD. Thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.